Right, how doing everybody? Welcome to Russell Heritage Golf. Today we're going to be talking about how your posture can influence not only your grip but also your swing. What happens is that basically with the job that you're doing for a living, whether you are commuting a lot, whether you're quite labour intensive, whatever it might end up being, is that the likelihood is that you're going to go more rounded in the shoulders and things like excessive amount of curvature of the spine, therefore taking you into a state of anterior tilt rather than having a more neutrally placed posture. The thing that we're going to be talking about today though is that, actually George, if I can have your club, if you stay where you are though, is that if you were to kind of stand up nice and relaxed, okay, so, and then let your arms hang down, you relaxed? Yeah, so we can kind of see the way that if you were looking relative towards where the forearm would be orientated, should we say, just to keep it simple, like the seam here in my jacket, that everything is now pointing towards the camera, and that would be in a state of neutral. Now what will happen is if I round my shoulders off, and if you do the same, you can start to see the way that the orientation of the forearms, therefore the arms and the hands, start to change, and therefore the back of the hands start to face more towards the camera, like so. So if you kind of do that again for us, so if you go back into neutral, yeah, pull your shoulder blades back, yeah, and then if you kind of now round them off more, yeah, you can start to see the way they hang over more. Now look, there's going to be parts of this that you can't necessarily change. But the problem that I've started to see with quite a few golfers is that if you adopt and you experiment with this, right? So if you're quite rounded and then you grip the club, then your arms are going to be bent. And then if you straighten your arms, your top of your spine is going to be so rounded, you're going to be in such a state of flexion, your shoulder blade's going to be really hunched over, that you're never going to be able to swing the club back very far without compensating by lifting. The other complexity is, similar to what I said in the videos, it's going to completely change how you grip the club and actually your swing. So, you know, if you're somebody who is quite rounded off, right, in terms of you've been labour intensive, or you know that you've got poor posture, then it's definitely now time, if you're going to try and make a swing change and you're trying to improve your golf, then you'd actually genuinely find that this, by just working on things like pulling your shoulder blades back, being better in terms of your posture, whether you go to the extent of doing something like yoga, Pilates, physio, that's up to you in terms of the level of seriousness that you're trying to take your golf. But what I am saying is that there's going to be huge limitations. So George, if you round your shoulders off excessively, good. And now without compensating in your posture, so let's bring this camera here, I want you to try and swing it back as far as you can without forcing yourself to come out of posture. Yeah, so, and again, yeah, so do it again for me. So, yeah, so swing, round your shoulders off and swing, yeah, exactly. Now we're talking, as people have seen with George on the channel, right, he's incredibly supple and pretty flexible relative to the average sort of person. So the fact that George can't get to capacity in terms of the golf swing should be pretty illuminating for those that are struggling, yeah, exactly, relative to what you do. So a great exercise would be the split handle one again, yeah? So if you demonstrate the split handle drill and get yourself kind of similar to what George is now demonstrating, hands about shoulder width apart, right palm or trail palm facing up, lead palm facing down, and then just swing the club back. Because what I've been saying is that in the golf swing, your right shoulder will feel like it retracts behind you, and you can almost get a sense that your right shoulder blade is going back behind you, which will help pull your lead arm up. But if you're around like this, well, it's the equivalent of trying to now do the split handle exercise with excessive rounded shoulders. It's like you're only going to go this far back, and then the problem is that you're going to have to compensate because you're going to need to swing further back. And for the majority of people that I've met, it's a very simple fix. It's just a little bit of conscious awareness of going, okay, relax your shoulders, make sure you don't arch your back to cheat, but just relax your shoulders, pull them back a little bit, then get into posture to the stage where you're more neutral. Then you're going to find that it's going to be a lot easier, although peculiar. It's 100% worth double checking, because for people that have come for lessons and also some online lessons, it's been pretty revelationary for them as to how much more liberated and how further they can swing the golf club just based on a very simple posture change. Double check it. You don't want to be making like that sort of mistake, because it will 100% hinder your progression. Hopefully you've enjoyed the video. Always appreciate a thumbs up and a like. Remember, it's free to press that subscribe button. If you're going to do so, press the little bell icon. We'll catch up with you soon.